serve him, heavenly King of glory, chosen heir to witness for his name.
All right, so here's a pro tip. Don't wait too long to buy your flight, because sometimes it becomes so prohibitively expensive that you're gonna have to come up with some other route to your destination. So here I am in Utah because I took a very budget flight to Provo, and I am now going to drive for 7 hours to Denver because I really, really want to attend a very special event. So this vlog is going to be a little bit different, and I'd like to invite you to take a ride with me as I explore some of the most beautiful parts of the American West while I tell you about what it was like to be raised Mormon, because I'm starting my journey in Utah, and I don't know, I just felt like that made sense. So yeah, most of the footage is going to look like this, and most of the talking is going to be voiceover, but I hope you enjoy it. So I was a practicing member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, yes, the Mormons, until about 10 years ago. I never served a mission, that's usually the first question I get asked, and I never went to the temple to perform ordinances, which is like super serious promises made with God. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't deeply invested in the church and its teachings. I was a true blue Mormon believer. Now, I would say throughout most of my youth, I had a very positive experience within the Mormon Church. I have very loving and supportive parents. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and we all get along and still keep in touch. I have a lot of LDS friends, and I looked up to a lot of the leaders within the church. But as good as the good old days were, after high school, I started running into a lot of heartache. But it is time for a road trip pit stop. Just had my first stop for gas, and as I got out of the car, I realized that I left my suit at my sibling's house. So now I have to go find something at Ross or anything for the wedding tonight. Oh man, Paul, does he have ADHD? It's not diagnosed, but I think it's possible. All right, on to the heartache. So members of the LDS Church have to do occasional interviews with their bishop or their local leader to determine their worthiness to do things like go to the temple or be worthy to go on a mission or act in God's name by using the priesthood. And these interviews have questions like, do you believe in God? Do you believe in the church? And do you believe in prophets? And do you keep the word of wisdom, which is the teaching that you can't have coffee and tea and beer? But they also ask questions like, are you a full tithe payer? Or do you keep yourself sexually pure? And I'll let you guess which one I would fall short on, but basically for about 10 years of my life, I struggled with staying worthy. Now, Mormons usually have a pretty clear life path that's been pre-mapped for them, and if you're not worthy, that map starts to fall apart. And I started dealing with a lot of self-hatred because I couldn't progress in life. In fact, one of the only things I felt like I was progressing with was dancing. Speaking of progress and dance, Laura and I, for the first time ever, are teaching on a cruise ship. If taking lessons, dancing, and partying with us while we explore Panama, Costa Rica, and the Cayman Islands sounds fun to you, I've got a link below, and I would love for you to join us. Well, I guess I missed the welcome to Wyoming sign, but I'm now in Wyoming. Woohoo! And back on the road and back to the story. So for about 10 years of my life, I was constantly told that I wasn't good enough, and I believed it. And navigating a path outside of a cookie-cutter Mormon life was difficult, especially when I didn't have any self-love. And honestly, during this time, I was a big old tool bag. I was so hungry for affection that I'd try to find it anywhere. Honestly, they should have installed a revolving door on the bishop's office, because I felt like I always had something new to confess, including budding feelings of doubt. For the first time ever, I started to wonder if the healing powers of Christ were real, if this was something that I wanted so bad, and yet I couldn't access that healing. But then I saw the light at the end of a tunnel. Woo, y'all, there ain't nothing in Wyoming. It looks like there's like a lot of oil industry around here, at least along the 80. Got some peanut butter pretzels, Cheetos, and yogurt. So I'm gonna keep going on my drive. Here we go. I met a girl at the Phoenix Lindy Exchange named Clara, who I thought was God's answer to my prayers. She was a Mormon, she was a great dancer, she was struggling with some of the same issues and thoughts and doubts that I was, and we were going to work towards getting married in the temple together. And long story short, that relationship didn't work out, and I was just devastated. And don't worry, we're friends now. Finding myself single once more without a clear path of any kind of progression, I finally decided that I was going to just step a little bit away from the church just to see how I felt. Now, it just so happened that I had a friend who was looking into joining the church at the exact same time. He was very thorough with his research, and we worked together at the time, and occasionally he'd come up to me and say, "Hey, have you heard of this?" and slide something over to my desk. And for the first time ever, I was exposed to a lot of really uncomfortable history about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. With all of this new evidence, and because I had allowed my heart to step away just enough, I was out within 6 months. I'm very thankful for my LDS family and friends because I was able to maintain relationships once I left, and I know there are a lot of people out there that aren't so lucky. Yeah, sometimes conversations around the dinner table can be a little strained, but when there's love and respect present, usually it's not too bad. Wow! Wow! The view is it's so pretty! Ah! It's so pretty! I gotta find somewhere to pull over. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Woo! Oh my goodness gracious. Look at it. It's so pretty. So there you go. That's some of my backstory growing up as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And look, just in time, we've arrived in Fort Collins, Colorado to celebrate the wedding of Adam and Allison, two very dear friends of mine. Okay, I had to pull over for just a moment because, oh my gosh, it is just so pretty out here. All right, stopped by Goodwill, stopped by TJ Maxx. Running just a little bit late, but I think I've got something that'll work. I think. We'll see. Day 2 of my quick turnaround trip to go to Adam and Allison's wedding. It was really lovely. I didn't take as much video because I ended up just wanting to be present, which was cool. But what a fun little adventure. And now I've got that, I think this drive is actually probably about 8 hours, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going through a little town that I've heard is really beautiful called Steamboat Springs. And yeah, so I'm going to stop and get some fancy coffee first, and then let's get going. I just love the magic of life and travel sometimes. I went into this random coffee shop, and who was there? Adam and Allison. I got to wish them congratulations one more time before jumping on the road. It was really special. So what's the topic for the drive home? Well, that drive was so beautiful, it was almost a spiritual experience in itself. I took a lot of time to mosey and enjoy the mountains and think about the things that I wanted to talk about. And that moseying and taking the time to breathe and take in the world around you ended up being the thing that I wanted to focus on. Mormons and other high control groups tend to be very work-spaced. There's always something more that you can be doing. Growing up, we had youth group once a week, we had Bible study every day before high school, we had 3 hours of church on Sunday, we had fast offerings, we had home teaching, we had all of these things that kept us very busy. And what I think I realized on this trip was that probably influences the way that I interact with the dance community. It's a good reminder that just like the wedding the night before, I can choose to just be present instead of working on something. Lindy Hop is not a works-based faith. In fact, it's not a faith at all. And it doesn't matter how much we all love this thing. It is, at the end of the day, just a dance.
You guys, I can't. Look at this.
I love the effect that the mountains have on me. I love taking in the deep breath of fresh mountain air and just being reminded to slow down. Let's take the time to make our dancing more like the mountains and less like religion.
Back in the day, it's not so much true anymore, but back in the day, I think BYU has such a big influence with their ballroom club and their swing club that anytime like Cats going to the weekly dances, we could tell like 100 people dancing and we could tell exactly who the LDS dancers were because they had a specific thing that they would all do when they would dance, and they would swing out, boom, boom, ba, ba-da, boom, 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 ba-da, and they would do a ba-dum every time there was a ba-dum at the end of their swing out. It was the Mormon stomp off, and so we would be like, oh, they're LDS, they're LDS, they're LDS.